How many introductory calls did you do last week? 3, 5, 10? And how many of those actually turned into paying clients? Because if you're like most high ticket professionals, you're spending 15 hours a week on Zoom calls with people who are just exploring options and maybe one of them converts. There's a better way. And it's based on a Google study that completely changed how I think about selling. Here's the problem. You can't scale one-to-one introductory calls. You just can't. You're one person. You've got 40 hours in a working week. And if you're spending half of that explaining the same thing over and over to people who, let's be honest, really aren't ready to buy yet, you're not running a business. You're running a very expensive consulting service for tire kickers. And the second you stop doing calls, that pipeline dries up. That's the treadmill, and it is exhausting. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 7-11-4 rule and why it matters for high ticket sales. Why your prospects need 7 hours of content before they'll trust you with serious money. And the one 10-minute video you can make today that eliminates 90% of those getting to know you type calls. I'm Jeremy, 28 years in TV, and for most of that time, I was also on a treadmill. Every new project meant pitching, meeting, explaining, and then I figured out how to build a trust bank. And now I get inbound inquiries from people who've already decided that they want to work with me before we've even spoken on the phone. Let me show you how that works. And listen, if you're an IFA, a wealth manager or an accountant, whether you're dealing with the FCA in the UK or the SEC in the States, and you're thinking, this sounds great, but I'm in a regulated industry and I can't just put any old content out there. I've built something for you. It's called the video scorecard. It's a simple form. You fill in your details, your niche, your compliance setup. I review it, and if I can help you, we'll schedule a call where I can map out exactly which videos you should be making to stay compliant and still attract the high value clients you want. It's free and the link is in the description below. So fill it in once you've watched this video. Okay, let's do this. So here's what the standard process looks like for most professionals. Someone finds you on LinkedIn or through a referral, or they see one of your posts, they book a call, you jump on Zoom and you spend 30 minutes explaining who you are, what you do, how you work, and why you're different. And they nod along politely and they say, this is all really helpful. And then they say, can I think about it and get back to you? And maybe they do, but probably, let's be honest, they don't. Because here's what's actually happening in that call. You're trying to build trust and rapport in 30 minutes. And trust, real trust, the kind that makes someone hand over $50,000 or sign a $5,000 a month retainer, doesn't happen in half an hour. It takes time, it takes depth. It takes what Google calls the messy middle. This comes from a study that Google did on consumer decision making. And what they found was this: before someone makes a high value purchase, and we're talking anything over a few $1,000s, they need an average of 7 hours of interaction with your content, 11 touch points, so that could be emails, videos, articles, whatever. And that needs to happen across 4 different locations: your website, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, a podcast, things like that. 7, 11, 4. That is the trust bank. And here's the thing, most professionals are trying to do all of that in one 30-minute Zoom call, and it doesn't work, because what you're really asking someone to do is compress 7 hours of trust building into half an hour, and their brain just won't do it. They need time. They need to see you in different contexts. They need to hear you explain your philosophy, not just your process. Now, I've spent 28 years making TV, and in that world, there are 2 types of content. There's the soundbite, the 30-second clip, the highlight reel. That's for people scrolling Twitter at lunchtime. And then there's the documentary, the deep dive, the thing that you actually sit down and watch because you want to understand the full story. The same thing applies to your clients. Some people, they want the soundbites, they want quick tips. They're never going to pay you serious money, because frankly, they're not serious buyers. But the people who will pay you $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, they want the documentary. They want depth. They want to sit with your content and understand how you think. And those people need those 7 hours first. So here's the lesson from all of this. Video is the fastest way to fill up that trust bank. One 10-minute YouTube video is worth 10 minutes of trust. Watch 5 of them, that's nearly an hour. Compare that to a LinkedIn post. Maybe they spend 30 seconds reading it, maybe. Or an email, they skim it in 10 seconds. But a video, they're locked in, they're hearing your voice, they're seeing your face, they're watching you think through a problem in real time, and that builds trust faster than anything else. Now here's where most people go wrong. They think the 7 hours needs to be 7 hours of how-to content, how to set up a SIP, how to structure a limited company, how to build a LinkedIn funnel. No, the 7 hours needs to be you, your philosophy, your approach, the way that you think about the problem, because here's the thing, your prospects can Google how to set up a SIP. They don't need you for that actually. What they need you for is judgment, decision making, the things that come from 20 years of hard-won experience that you can't learn from a blog post. So the videos you make should show them how you think, not just what you know. Okay, so here's what you do. You make one 10-minute video that explains your philosophy, not your service, not your pricing, not your process, your philosophy. For example, if you're an IFA, make a video called Why I Don't Sell Products, I Sell Peace of Mind. And if you're an accountant, make a video called Why I Think Most Tax Advice is Back to Front. If you're a consultant, make a video called Why Strategy Doesn't Work Without Implementation. You see what I mean? You're not teaching them how to do something. You're showing them how you think. And then here's the key. You send that video to every single lead before your first Zoom call. Really looking forward to our call on Thursday, but before we chat, here's a 10-minute video that explains how I approach this work. Have a little watch and we'll dive straight into your situation on the call. So what happens? Half the people won't watch it, and that's fine. They were never going to buy anyway. But the other half, they watch it. They get you, they understand your philosophy, and when you get on that Zoom call, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from 10 minutes of trust already in the bank. And that call goes from, let me explain who I am, to, right, let's solve your problem. And if you're sat there thinking, well, that's all right, but what if I don't know what my philosophy is? What if I've just been doing the work and I've never really articulated? That's what most people feel, by the way, and you're not alone. And that's exactly what I help you figure out on the call after you've filled in the scorecard and we've established that there's a fit and that I can help you. Because the first question I ask is always, what's the unique angle you bring that no one else does? The call's free, the link's in description, so do it after you finish this video. So now you know you need 7 hours of content to fill your trust bank. You know the first video to make is that philosophy video, but here's what happens next. You sit down to make that video, you open your notes app, you start writing a script, and then mind blank and you freeze because suddenly you're thinking, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I sound like I'm a bit of an idiot? And what if I forget what I'm supposed to say halfway through? And that overthinking, that paralysis, is what stops most people from ever hitting record. And I get it because I've been there. But here's the thing, I've also filmed live TV, Strictly Come Dancing, Britain's Got Talent, all that kind of thing. Shows where if you mess up, 10 million people see it. We have a checklist. The checklist is called the At Speed checklist. 4 things, that's it. Check those 4 things and you don't overthink, you just go. And in the next video, I'm going to give you that exact checklist, the same one that I've used on live TV for 28 years. So you can stop overthinking and start recording. Watch that one next, because if you've ever sat down to record a video and then spent 45 minutes staring at the camera without pressing record, this video will sort you right out. So if this has clicked for you, and I hope it has, if you're thinking, right, I need to start filling my trust bank, then just hit subscribe, because this series is taking you step by step through the exact system I use with IFAs, accountants and consultants to build authority on camera. And if you haven't grabbed the scorecard yet, do it, it's free. Takes minutes and it will save you months of guessing which videos to make first. The link is in the description. See you in the next video. Take care.